What is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Daredevil19 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi CARNAGE. So let's get into it right away and start off with the box. So we do get a basic style box when it comes to Revoltech's Amazing Yamaguchi line. So we do get the one right there in the front of the box, and mostly throughout the entire box we do get this really cool comic book style artwork all throughout it, and that is something I really do dig a lot about these Amazing Yamaguchi figure boxes. So on the left side of the box here, on the top does say Figure Complex Amazing Yamaguchi, powered by Revoltech. Then we do get a cool image of the Carnage figure. Then on the bottom says Series number 6, Carnage and Marvel. And then the bottom of the box here does have the barcode and blah 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 stuff nobody cares about, but then we do get a really sick image of Carnage there. And then here is the top of the box. We do get like a comic book cover artwork right there, looking pretty cool, and I love the way Carnage is spelled right there. And then here is the one side of the box with some images of the Carnage figure in black and white, and once again that just looks sick the way they spelled Carnage. Then the other side of the box does have one of the sickest poses that they put this Carnage figure into. I just love that pose right there. Then the back of it does show a bunch of really dope poses you can get the figure into, along with all of the accessories. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get this figure over to take a closer look at my favorite villain from Spider-Man, who also happens to be a sex sadistic, serial-killing psychopath. And for anybody who is curious, we do get a little bit of artwork on the sides of the boxes. Then we do get a beautiful backdrop, which I'll show you shortly. So on this side of the box, it does say Carnage is here on the top. Then the bottom, we do get a little bit of old style artwork there. And then the bottom of the other side of the box, some more old style artwork. Then the top does have some like 90s style artwork. And then the backdrop, this is probably my favorite backdrop that I've gotten with any of their figures. The artwork is just beautiful on this. The center one, that is so sick with Carnage and Venom. Then the side ones look great too. I just love that Revoltech keeps including these with their figures. It's just like a little added bonus with the box instead of just giving you nothing inside of the box. So I really appreciate them continuing doing this. But anyway, let's continue on with the review. Now, alrighty, taking a closer detailed look, and Revoltech did a superb job with this Carnage, and I swear with each new release they get better and better, and they do update their figures. And as of right now, hands down, this is my favorite in the Amazing Yamaguchi line, and I know I do say that with every new figure that releases, but Revoltech steps it up every time with every new release. So you can see why someone says every new figure they release is their favorite. They just keep knocking it out of the park with these figures. I mean, if you're not a fan of Revoltech, I understand it, but if you do like these figures, you're going to be loving them with each new release. This Carnage was just executed so damn good. The detail was handled so well on this figure. My only complaint, which is a lot of people's as well, some people don't mind it, is the ugly shoulder joints, of course. On Carnage, they don't look that bad because the red just blends in pretty well, so you don't really see them as much compared to their other figures. Another issue is when you take this figure out of the packaging, he does have pieces of plastic, like in between the torso and the waist and the legs. The one in between the torso is a pain in the arse to get off. I was fighting and struggling to get that plastic out from in between the lower torso and upper torso. That piece of plastic was really, really annoying getting off the figure. So just take note of that. And then another thing, my thigh joints were really tight and stuck. I had to run them under hot water. Well, I was able to snap one of them out of place. The other one I had to run under hot water. So you might have to do that with your thigh joints, or maybe the upper thigh right there, or the hip joint, I mean. So just wanted to let you guys know that when you get your figures, just in case. Now, the head sculpt I think turned out awesome. The lower jaw is a separate floating piece, kind of like their Venom figure. So the articulation is at the upper neck, and it's on a double ball hinge, as you can see right there. So you do get very nice articulation out of that, which we'll get into during the articulation. But beautiful paintwork all throughout this figure. Nice clean paint all throughout it, where the black meets the red, or where the white meets the black. And I love how the symbiote's kind of like going off his body right there, like off his head. They did it all throughout the body, but I really like the way that looks. And a lot of pieces are sharp, so be careful with your Carnage figure. And I love the sculpt of his skin. Like, say you peeled your skin off and looked at your muscles, that's what his skin looks like, and I think it just looks so damn cool. And then you can see some veins sculpted on the figure here and there, like on his neck and everything, even on the back of his head, and I really dig the way that looks. And then we do get some very nice shading all throughout the red as well. Now the torso here, as you can see, there is 2 peg holes right there. Now all the peg holes that you see on this figure are for his numerous amounts of tendrils that he's included with. So we do get 2 on the chest right there, then we do get 6 on the back. We do get 7 actually, 1 in the center, but that is for the stand. Then we do get 2 on the lower back, then the mid back we get another 2, then on the upper back we do get another 2. Then on his upper thighs on the back we do get 1 on each side, we do get 1 on each elbow, we do get 1 on each shoulder, and then we get 1 on the back of his heel, on each heel. So that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 peg holes for his tendrils, and he is included with a ton of them, which we'll go over during the accessories. Very clean paint where the black meets the red right there, and the black of course is sculpted on there, and just the sculpt of his skin looks so damn cool. They did such an incredible job on this Carnage here. The back looks great. I like the way the black looks on the spine. That looks dope. Like I said, I like how the symbiote's kind of like sticking out off the body, even around the waist right there, and then even on the arms you can see it's kind of doing it on there as well. And very nice sculpt and paint all throughout the arms, nice clean paintwork. We do get the shading as well. The crotch piece is a separate piece, as you can see there. I like the way the tendrils, or not tendrils, his symbiote's kind of floating off the back there, even around the thighs, up over here, and on the sides, on the back. Beautiful sculpt and paint all throughout it, man. They really knocked it out of the park with this Carnage. Then we do get the ugly Revoltech joints. Then we do get these kneecap pieces that are articulated, so it does hide the front of the joint, which I always love that Revoltech does with these figures. The lower legs, once again, great paint and sculpt, nice clean paintwork. Same with on the feet, we do get the shading as well. Then on the bottom, we do get a little bit of shading and some subtle sculpt work. So overall, I think Revoltech really outdid themselves with this Venom. I was so damn excited for this figure, and they really never cease to amaze me with each release. They impress me more and more with each new figure that they release in this line, and I just feel like they're going to keep getting better and better, and they just knocked it out of the park with the paint sculpt on this Carnage. But anyway, let's continue on. Moving on to the accessories, we get a ton of awesomeness included with this Carnage. We get over 30 accessories, so you shouldn't complain at all that he's not included with enough stuff. So we do get a Revoltech stand, which does have the base, the arm, and then the clamp here, basic stand type of articulation. Then we do get the extension piece right here. Then they did include 2 extra double ball hinge joints, but I always love when a figure company includes some extra joints. So we do get that stuff, and then we also get 3 pairs of alternate eyes. So we do get these ones here that do come on the figure out of the packaging, and these ones are opened the widest out of all 6 of them. And like I said before, they did a great job with the detail. I do like the white paint that they chose for the eyes as well. It kind of has like a pearl white type look to it, so we do get those. And then we also get these alternate eyes. Now these ones are closed a little bit more, kind of maybe his more angry look, and beautiful paint and sculpt all throughout them. And then the bottom ones, the right eye's opened a little bit more compared to the left one, and once again, very nice paint and sculpt on that as well. And the way you swap the eyes out, they did give you this poking tool, which we've gotten before with their previous figures, and you're supposed to turn the head around and poke right at the holes where the pegs are, but this doesn't really work that well. I found that digging your fingernail under the eye and pulling it off yourself is much easier than using this tool. For some reason it doesn't work that good, unlike the other figures where it worked really well, like with Deadpool and stuff. And it does peg in on the top and the bottom, so there's 2 different peg hole slots in there that you have to poke at. So we do get the tool for the eyes, and then the 3 pairs of alternate eyes, and then we also get 3 different types of tendrils, and you get 4 of each one, so a total of 12. So we do get 4 of these smaller tendrils here, and they did a very nice job with them. It is a bit sharp on this side, so be careful of that. We do get some nice sculpt work, and we do get some very subtle black specks of paint all throughout it. Then the other side does have a peg, so you can peg it anywhere you want to on Carnage, like on the chest, the arms, the legs, or the back, or anything like that. So we do get 4 of the smaller ones here, and then we do get 4 of the medium-sized ones right here, and they just keep getting better and better the larger they get. Very sharp once again at the top, very nice sculpt all throughout it. I like how that piece is kind of hanging out right there. We do get these specks of black paint all throughout it as well, and then of course we do get the peg on the other end there that you could peg into Carnage or into one of his hands. So we do get 4 of the medium ones, And then finally, we get 4 of the larger ones. And this one turned out the best because I love the black paint on the sharp edge right there. It is a little bit sharp, so be careful of that. I love how this piece is kind of coming off there. Same with on the bottom, we get the specks of black paint all throughout it, and just beautiful sculpt all throughout it as well. And then of course we do get the peg on the other end, and we do get 4 of those, so we do get a total of 12 tendrils. And then we also get 6 alternate hands, so we do get a pair of fists, of course, and the paint sculpt on each hand just beautifully done. Nice clean paint on the black there. We do get that very nice shading all throughout the red as well, and we get some beautiful sculpt work on each individual hand. Then we do have a peg hole on the top of the hand, so you can put some of the tendrils or the weapons that he makes out of his symbiote in there. So I do like that they did that. Very similar to their Spider-Man figure, and all the hands are very simple to swap out. So we do get a pair of fists, and then we do get a pair of these open hands here, and they did a great job on these as well. We do have a peg hole right on the palm in case you want to put tendrils or any of its weapons on there. So I really love all the display options they give you with this figure, and I love how the claws look at the end, how it's painted black and then it kind of blends into the red with the shading there. Really beautiful paint work on these. Nice clean paint where the black on the top of the hand meets the red, and once again beautiful sculpt work. So we do get a pair of open hands, and then finally we get some crazy looking Carnage hands where his middle index and thumb are kind of extended out a little more, unlike the pinky and the ring finger. But once again, beautiful sculpt and paint work on these. I love how it's black on the end and blends back into the red there. Nice clean paint on the top of the hand where the black meets the red, and very nice sculpt on it as well. There is no peg holes on this one anywhere for the tendrils, so we do get those 6 alternate hands, and then we also get 5 different symbiote weapons, and everything I'm about to talk about right now, we do get 2 of each. So all the 5 weapons, we get 2. Then we do get 2 extension pieces, then we do get 2 combination pieces. But before I go over those quickly, we do get this little tool here, which does help remove maybe the wrist joints or to pop the weapons and stuff off. So really cool that Revoltech did include that tool right there. So we do get this kind of hook type weapon, and they did a beautiful job on every single one of these damn accessories. I love how it's black on the sharp end, and they're all very sharp as weapons, so be extremely careful with them. We get some beautiful sculpt and the specks of black paint all throughout it. We do have a peg hole right there in case you would like to throw on maybe the tendrils or other weapons, and we do have a ball hinge on the other end, so we do get 2 of those. Then we do get like 2 of this stabbing type tendril here, which is also very sharp, very nice sculpt all throughout it. We do get the specks of black paint. Then we do have a ball hinge on the end right there, so we do get 2 of those. Then we do get my personal favorite, which is the axe, and we do get 2 of these, of course. I love how it's very heavy with the black, then blends in beautifully to the red, and the sculpt is just so sick on this. Then we do have a peg hole right there in case you want to add stuff onto it. Then we do have a ball hinge right there, so really great job on the axe. And then we do get a sword type symbiote weapon here, which looks so damn sick. They did an awesome job with this. Very sharp, once again, on both ends. We do get the specks of black paint all throughout it. Very nice sculpt. We do have a peg hole in case you want to add stuff onto it. Then we do have a ball hinge on the end there, so we do get that one. Then we do get another sword-like symbiote weapon with a bunch of blades on it, and I like how the blades are very heavy with the black paint. We do get the specks of black paint all throughout it, and just beautiful sculpt all throughout it as well. Then we do have a ball hinge on the end. Then we do get 2 extension pieces here, and once again, great job with the sculpt. The specks of black paint are on there. We do have a ball hinge on one end, and then we do have a peg hole on the other end, and this is to like maybe extend with that piece or the stabbing tool or whatever piece you want to put on there. So we do get 2 of those, and finally we get 2 of the combination pieces, and we do have a ball hinge on the end. Nothing on this end, but we do get a peg hole on the top and the bottom on each side, so you can add 4 different types of weapons or tendrils onto this here. And I really love all the display options that Revoltech did give you with this Carnage. I mean, the display options are seriously just endless with this figure. But anyway, that is all the incredibly amazing, awesome accessories included with this Carnage. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the reviews, shall we? Now for the height of this murderous psychopath. To the very top of his head, it looks like he stands a little bit over 6 inches and 1/4 of an inch tall. And something else I really do like about this Carnage that Revoltech is getting better and better at is that the figure looks good just standing up in a regular pose like that. So big plus to Revoltech for that. And then here he is compared to the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Venom, the SH Figure Arts Homecoming Spider-Man, the Figma Deadpool, and the Marvel Legends Cable. And then here he is compared to the SH Figure Arts, the Dark Knight Batman, the Mafex 2.0 Joker, the Mezco 112 Old Man Logan, and the SH Figure Arts Gladiator Hulk. And I bet these two here would turn out to be pretty good friends. And then here he is compared to the Storm Collectibles Sub-Zero, the SH Figure Arts Sage Mode Naruto, the Mafex Justice League Superman, and the Mezco 112 Deathstroke. And then here he is compared to the SH Figure Arts Awakened Warrior Super Saiyan Goku and the Mezco 112 Deadpool. Anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. So now for the articulation, and with Revoltech, you'll be able to get these figures into any type of pose you would like. So we do have 2 points at the neck here. The upper neck joint is on a double ball hinge, so you can get Carnage to look directly up. And then he does pretty much look straight ahead with the upper neck, but once you combine it with the lower neck, he looks directly down, which I'll show you shortly. There's no pivot on there really, but you do get the swivel on there. It does swivel where the joint connects into the head, but mine, where it connects into the neck right there, it is a bit tight, and sometimes the joint splits apart. It'll happen on the shoulders as well, so some of those joints, they might split apart, so you're going to have to snap them back together, so you might have to run them under hot water to loosen them up a little bit, so figured I'd mention that to you. Now the lower neck here, I really love that Revoltech keeps using ball pegs a lot more with their figures, because you can get some very nice movement at the lower neck. So the lower neck does go forward a really good amount, so you can get Carnage to look directly down. Goes back a tiny bit, he does look directly up. Then we do get nice pivot at that joint, and then it does swivel as well. So excellent movement at both the neck joints. Then we do get a point of articulation at the torso right around the upper abdomen there, and this is also on a ball peg, and I love that they're not using the ball hinge anymore for the torso. So Carnage crunches forward a really good amount with that joint. Doesn't go back too far because of the way it's sculpted right there, so it does hinder it a bit, but we do get a little bit of pivot there, and then a tiny bit of swivel because of the way the torso is sculpted. It doesn't swivel too much there at the torso. Then the waist is also on a ball peg, so it can move forward and back a really good amount actually. So with both joints, he crunches forward pretty much 90 degrees, which is excellent, and then going back, it does go back a tiny bit, so it goes back much better than the torso. Then we do get some very nice pivot at the waist, and then we do get the better swivel there as well. So combining both joints, you get some excellent movement at the torso and the waist. Now at these shoulders here on the body, we do get this awkward joint here that they keep putting on their figures, which I do like. It is on a ball peg, so it can pivot, move up and down just a tiny bit, and then it does swivel, so you can move them all the way forward or move them pretty far back. So I do like that point of articulation there. Then the shoulders here are on a double ball hinge, so Carnage, his arms can go out a little more than 90 degrees, which is definitely good. They do move up and down. My joint is a bit tight, then it does swivel a little bit where it connects into the arm right there. My joint is also tight there as well. Then we do have a single jointed elbow that bends in pretty much all the way, so very nice movement there. Then it does swivel where it connects into the bicep, and then where it connects into the forearm, it's on a ball peg, so you can move it all around and swivel it and stuff, and I do love their elbow joints. Then we do get a ball hinge on the wrist, so it does swivel and hinges back and forth. Now for the legs here, we do get that weird wacky leg articulation, and the way it's sculpted, it does hinder it a tiny bit, but really not too much. So we do have a ball peg that connects the hips right there, so they can move in and out just a tiny bit, but Carnage can kick forward about 90 degrees with that joint, and when you combine it with the swivel at the thigh, he can kick all the way up. And then moving back, he does kick back about 90 degrees. Then going out to the sides, they really don't go out too far, but if you move the swivel around, and if you know how to articulate these figures, you will be able to get it to go out Jean-Claude Van Damme style. And then we do get the upper thigh angle swivel right there. Then we do have single jointed knees that bend back all the way. It does swivel where it connects into the thigh and where it connects into the lower leg. Then the kneecap piece is on a tiny ball hinge, so it does hinge back and forth and also swivels. Then we do get a swivel here at the mid lower leg there. Then the ankles do hinge up a tiny bit. They hinge down much better, and then we do get a beautiful ankle pivot, and then we do have a toe hinge. So overall, we get some excellent articulation with this Carnage, and like I said in the beginning of the articulation segment, that you will be able to get him into any type of Carnage pose that you would like, and I'm about to show you some of those poses right about now. But anyway, that is my review of the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Carnage. Hope you enjoyed it. If I had to rate this figure between a 1 through 10, I'd have to give it a 9.5. If you would like to know the price and where to buy this figure, I did get mine from Agelessgeeks, so you can head over to their website at agelessgeeks.com, or I would recommend going through their Instagram or their Facebook group. I will put more information in the description below. And if you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification bell. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, just give it a thumbs up anyway, because action figures are awesome. Thanks for watching. I will see you later. Today we're going to be taking a look at the, I almost said Bandai, damn! And that is something I really do dig about these Amazing Yamaguchi figure boxes. So on the, and the bottom of the box here does have the barcode. Timber! A little too late, already fell. Shyster! Shyster! The SH Figure Arts, the Dark Knight Batman, the blah 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 blah. The Mesco 112 Old Man. What the heck? Damn. And the Mesco 112 Deadpool. Damn it. Almost said Deathstroke. Damn. So you shouldn't complain that you don't get enough of his. 3 pairs of alternate eyes. So we do get the ones right here. Damn you, you stupid upper head. It does fade in very well on the figures to the red, on the figures, on the fingers, you ballstead. Of symbiote weapons, then we do get 2 different extension pieces, then we do, anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review.